Hi, my name is Stephen McGee and I'm the author of Curing Electromagnetic Hypersensitivity. I'm here to review this experiment. Now this experiment involved exposing Dieffenbachias to a biologically radioactively hot smoke detector. Now this smoke detector had actually been killing plants in the first experiment. Then a year later we ran a second experiment and it caused a cactus to show extensive deformity. And this was the third experiment that I ran with that smoke detector. If we look at the labels, so this is our biologically hot smoke detector. This plant got a month exposure to it in October 2013. And it's still alive. And I believe the reason for that is because we got into half-life problems with the smoke detector. And that is, radiation gets less potent with time. So this one only got a 1 hour exposure to that biologically hot smoke detector. And this is what it looks like. And this was our control, so this never got any exposure to that biologically harmful smoke detector. And the thing you'll notice about the plants is the control is actually the smallest plant out of the group. And that did not surprise me, because one of the effects radiation has on biological organisms is it accelerates growth. And you can clearly see in this experiment that the plants are all growing in the same area, but the smallest plant of the bunch is the control that never got the radiation exposure. So the plants have actually shown some stresses during the experiment. We're going to look at the control first. So this is the control. Now the control seems to have darker leaves than the actual radiation exposed plants. And the smoke detector is just a standard household smoke detector that I purchased in Tucson, Arizona. It's only when I started doing research on smoke detectors that I actually realized it was biologically harmful. So you can actually see it's got a huge leaf on it, and it's been pretty consistent with putting a very large leaf growth. So not only is it tall, but it also has very large leaves. And you can see lower down, it actually did show some stress, and its growth pattern changed this year in 2014, and it started putting up this much larger leaf growth in 2014. But it's a fine plant. It's certainly the tallest out of the bunch. So this one actually got the 1 month exposure, so this got the highest dose of radiation out of that smoke detector. And this is what it looks like. So it's a much more stressed plant. It's certainly not as healthy as the plant that only got the 1 hour exposure. So it looks like 1 month had an effect on this, and you see it's putting up quite deformed leaves at one point. And this is what it looks like. So it's had an effect. There's no doubts that the exposure to that biologically harmful smoke detector had an effect. But the reason why I didn't kill them is primarily down to the fact that we got into half-life problems, and the radiation coming out of that detector calmed down during the course of these experiments. So the first experiment, it killed everything that was next to it. The second experiment, it didn't kill the cactus, but the cactus grew very, very deformed and stressed, and it just did not look healthy. It wasn't on the verge of death, but it was showing extensive, what most gardeners would think was disease, and parts of the cactus were dying off. And this was the third experiment, so this was 3 years later, and it seems like the radiation calmed down enough to actually not harm the plant and to start causing these growth acceleration effects. So that's the conclusion so far. We're going to leave the experiment running, and when I have more information I will do another update. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I wish you the very best of health. Thank you.